couple of years ago, we had a very interesting business case for OGSM, which actually did not start as a strategy project. It started as a lack of engagement issue. The CEO of the company approached me saying, Peter, I'm just coming from a extended leadership team meeting where I have something like 20 people telling me that they are 15, 20 years experience in this industry, working for my company and working for this company, but they see they are not actually contributing. They are doing the business as usual activities, but they're not seeing where are we going. They don't see their capabilities and skills and attitudes are being leveraged. They sort of feel they are left out. Is there anything we can do about this? So that's how he approached me. And I said, we started to talk about what is the lack of engagement and what do they see about the strategies today, or at that point when we talked, what do they know about where the company goes? And not surprisingly, they knew actually very little. There was a top 5-6 people in the company who knew where are they going, why are they going there, what do we expect on the market, how is competition doing, why are we choosing what we are choosing, but it has not really been cascaded down. So we set up a 2-day workshop, and honestly, he was quite skeptical. The first question he asked me, so what do you want me to do? I said, okay, come in the first day and simply tell what is the vision for the company. Where do you see your company 3 years down the road? And what are the key cornerstones? What are the obvious don't do things for the message that you want to pass to your people? Sort of what is clearly off strategy, they never should do. And what are key kind of guidelines that you have in your mind? What opportunities do you see? But not as a dictation, not as a prescribing what they should do, but like ideas. And then leave and come back the next day in the afternoon and let's see what comes out of this. And that's what he did. I remember on the day one, after he gave his presentation, he said, by the way, Peter, I hope we have an NDA signed. Because I just told you and everybody, all the secrets, all the confidential information about what we see and how we see. And of course I was silent, laughing, yes we do, but we are already working on this for quite some time, so don't worry about it. But it's an illustration of how much confidence he had in these people, which with his extended leadership team, which honestly I didn't see him having before. So then the training started, late morning on the day one. By the end of day one, they created the first draft of the corporate OGSM. There were 26 people, which is typically counted as a relatively large organization, including all the functional leaders. And by the noon of day 2, they even created each function's first version of the functional OGSMs. The most difficult stuff was after lunch of day 2, when then I asked them, now, can you make sure that you are supporting each other? So each functional leader with their own team started to look the other people's OGSM. And they started to point out, okay, so if I want to do this in the sales organization, if I want to grow my sales organization by 20%, is that 20% growth in the OGSM of HR? Do you guys planning to hire 20 people? So they started to discover that the simple framework of OGSM can uncover some complexity within their organization. That was a point when they said, Peter, this is very difficult, very complicated. And then after a couple of questions, they realized, actually, our company is complicated. OGSM is just showing these interdependencies. And I asked them, so what was in the past? What did you do? You didn't have these complexities? I said, well, we had, and we figured them out during the year. We were already in the middle of fiscal year when we realized, for example, HR was not ready to do the hiring of 20 people. They were planning, 8 people, or not even that. So I said, so basically what you learn here is that you start realizing those dependencies before the fiscal year starts. So you can start planning. You can make sure that they are budgeted. You can make sure that these interdependencies are resolved in a way. And so by the end of day 2, when the CEO came back, first of all, they presented the top level OGSM and they presented the functional OGSMs. And he pulled me out in the meeting and said, "I'm surprised. I did not expect them to get this far." And I'm very, very proud because this was like 5 years ago, and they are still running an annual OGSM cycle.